Hi, and welcome to our new episode of the Sovereign Sisters podcast. We're so happy to have you here with us, and we hope this is a great interactive evening. We're going to be going through the ABCs of conspiracy theories, and we want you to participate by putting your conspiracy theory in the chat when we get to that letter that you're interested in. Let me give you a little background if you're not aware of what a conspiracy theory is, although I'm certain everybody's heard it by now. There are two versions of conspiracy theory, and according to the conversation, they say the more extreme version is that the CIA literally invented the term in the sense to use the words conspiracy and theory that had never been used before together. But it acknowledges that the term had existed before, but claims that the CIA intentionally created its negative connotations and turned it into a label for a tool of political propaganda. Well, we're here to tell you that we're not just talking about conspiracy theories, they're really spoiler alerts. So hang on and let's get rolling. We're going to start off at the beginning of the alphabet. Who wants to start with the first letter A?
Well, let me just start by saying that we want to give a huge shout out to Firmamental Podcast because they're the ones who inspired this. It has been so much fun. We've done it multiple times already, just on little drives, drive here, drive there, and we'll start whipping out all kinds of names of different, from the alphabet. And we had so much fun with it. So we thought we were going to have some fun here tonight. We definitely want audience participation, and we're gonna comment on what you put in there as well. So who wants to go first?
Go ahead.
Me? All right. Well, my first one was the Anunnaki
Oh,
for
that's a
A.
good one.
All right. So, what are the Anunnaki? Who are the Anunnaki? We're finding that some are saying that they're ancient alien invaders that have basically have been ruling us forever and ever and ever. So that's the
Yeah.
Anunnaki.
You can go ahead, Angela.
Well, I'm more on the last 4 years being called an anti-vaxxer.
There you go.
And
Yeah, good one.
I think, I accept the label, but I really think is if you question something, they want to slap that negative label on you. Well, I'll accept it because you haven't provided me with enough information to say that it's worthwhile. So I'll take your label.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I'm choosing Agent Orange.
Ah, nice.
So the crappy poison that they sprayed all over the jungle in the Vietnam War, which was supposed to defoliate the trees so they could see the enemy. But they also sprayed not only the enemy, but a lot of our troops as well. And now they're all suffering with horrible birth defects still to this day. And a lot of these people still are and have all kinds of issues because of it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So B. Does anybody in the audience have any A's? You'll have to pop it in the comments section.
Yeah.
If you have something, put it in there. B. Oh, I had so many different things for B, but I think I'm gonna stick with Bermuda Triangle.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So the interesting thing is, why do all of these things mysteriously disappear in the Bermuda Triangle, and where do they go? And my husband brought it up tonight. He's like, and it's a triangle like a pyramid.
Yeah.
So
And a
I
lot of
don't know.
people say there's a pyramid underneath that
Yeah.
area,
Yeah.
a crystal pyramid. That's why it's causing this. But I would like if I don't like going out in the ocean on a boat or anything, but I would probably go out there intentionally just to get sucked into the Bermuda Triangle so I can see where it goes.
Yeah, they say there's some certain energy around it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, because it messes with the plane compasses and things like that.
Yeah.
They don't know whether they're upside down or right side up because of the reflection of the water. So yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good one.
All right. Who's next?
Go ahead,
All right.
Angela.
All right. So I'm on a theme here. The next one's big pharma.
Yeah. Good.
So I think anytime you hear a big anything, there's big pharma, big ag, big everything, you have to know that that's related to the money. So why would you trust something that their whole purpose is to make oodles of money? It's not about your health.
Mhm.
It's all about the bottom line. And I think for us who are in the truth movement, we need to defund big pharma.
Mhm.
We need to stop using their products, go natural, get your life back in order, get back to nature, get back to God. You won't need big pharma.
Good. Ah, nice.
You're here. I agree.
Nice.
So mine is birds. Did you guys ever hear the conspiracy theory that birds aren't real?
No, never heard
No.
Yeah,
that one.
they're spying on us with birds. That's what a lot of people say. Have you ever seen a baby pigeon? Have you guys ever seen a baby pigeon?
Mm-mm.
Me either. So I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, a lot of people say they're, little spies. So I don't know.
Well, that is interesting.
That is interesting. That's one I'm going to have to do a little research on. Yeah,
Right.
good thinking there.
Yeah. No, that had me thinking of something else there for a moment.
Yeah, movie.
Well,
Well, I
yeah,
was thinking like the mosquitoes.
I was
You
just
know,
going to
the
say that.
the
Yeah.
The genetically modified
Yep.
mosquitoes.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
Well, they have
Yep.
little robotic mosquitoes and
Yep.
stuff too that I've
yeah.
seen. So a bird, yeah, I'm sure they can. And they had made robotic birds many, many years ago in the first place and came out and showed people,
Hmm. No, that was a good one. I didn't even know that. I didn't think about that one. C was.
Okay.
Are we done? Are we done with B?
Well, we're done with B. I'm seeing if anybody's participating.
All right.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything in the chat yet.
C. I had a lot of things for C as well. The most common one is obviously chemtrails, but I chose clones instead
Ah,
because we got a lot going on here of late, don't we?
Yeah.
So we don't know if it's a clone or if it's an actor or what's been happening here with a lot of these people that they see on TV, and most people still do not believe that they are cloning people and they have
Mhm.
had that ability. You look back on, remember that the first time where they cloned that sheep,
Dolly.
It was in
Dolly?
the 80s.
Yes.
It was in
Okay.
the
Yes.
80s.
You had to know they had the technology back then.
Yes.
They
Yeah,
don't tell
Exactly.
us until they've been messing with it for quite a while,
That's exactly right. So
exactly.
the thought that cloning is not something that can be done, I think you're sorely mistaken. You know what I mean?
I
So
agree.
clones. There
Well,
you
God,
go.
they have the fake uteruses now that they can grow a
Yes.
baby in,
Yes.
Yeah.
you
Yep. Yep.
know?
Yep.
Well, they're definitely our clones.
Absolutely.
Again, these are spoiler alerts. If you haven't heard them before, we're telling you the truth tonight. So I'm going to go with chemtrails for my sake. And the reason why is because I'm always explaining to people who when I say, don't you see that in the sky? This crisscross, this whole,
Mhm.
basket weave pattern of airplanes leaving these trails. And people are like, oh, that's just evaporation. And I
Right.
try to explain to them, contrails are normal with the condensation in the air. Chemtrails are poisoning us.
Mhm.
Or I hope they're not anymore. I don't know the truth. I've heard all sorts of things over the years. They've put all sorts of metals in the air, the barium, aluminum, and sprayed it on, and people get sick.
Right.
And I've heard that, and I'm going to put this in quotes, the white hats have taken over and now they're spraying good stuff. I don't have the information, so I can't say if that's true or not. I hope it is.
I actually have I have to find it, but it's a patch, an actual pilot patch that has for the guys that are piloting the planes that spray the chemtrails, and their patch says, "Don't just spray them, bury them," and it has little gravestones on the
Oh,
patch.
yeah.
Yeah,
But a lot of people say that the white hats have taken over the chemtrails. I don't believe it. That was hearing that last year
right.
before we got hoarded with chemtrails,
Hmm.
and then my garden it was beautiful and lush and just stopped producing. It didn't do anything from there. Like my melons only got this big. They were only producing male fruit, so there wasn't an overabundance of a lot of things.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
What did you
Plus,
have for C?
Plus the fog lately, which is caused by the
Mhm.
chemtrails too, I think.
Yeah.
A lot of people were getting sick when the fog has been being dispersed.
Yeah. Yeah. What did you have for C, Lisa?
I have crisis actors.
Good
Nice.
one.
I
That's
like that
That
one.
was a good one. Yeah, so all the people that are playing these actor parts, you can see them in multiple different uh, traumatic attacks, I guess,
Right.
terrorist
Crisis
attack.
scenes. Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. And people have screenshots of all these people or even videos, oh, this child lost his kid and he's crying here, but look, it's the same guy in this scene where there was a massacre at the mall. And there he is again
Yep.
at 9/11.
Yep. Yep.
you
Well,
know?
and have you seen? I actually saw different things where they actually put ads out that says they're looking for crisis actors.
central casting.
Yep.
It's what's being said all the time.
Yep.
What makes a good movie? Central casting, and that kind of leads you to believe that a lot of these people are crisis actors. So
Yep.
good for you, Lisa.
Well,
That's a good one.
Yeah. That
we
is
should
good.
all apply for that then, because we would be the first to know when the next crisis is going to happen,
That's
right?
exactly right. That's exactly right.
Heck.
Yes. Yeah. Good
I
job.
didn't know that was a previous life for me. I'm not going back to that. Sorry.
All right, we're on to D. I had DEWs, direct energy weapons.
You guys didn't do your C's, did you? Oh yeah, you
Oh,
did. I'm
We
sorry.
yeah.
did.
I'm
Oh, you
yeah,
didn't do your C yet, did you?
yeah,
She
I
did.
did.
Crisis actor.
Oh, crisis actor. Yeah. No.
All
That was
right,
good.
ladies.
Yeah.
All right, too much conspiracy. Let's get back to the tree.
Too many chemtrails spraying me.
Yeah. Right. DEWs. I had DEWs, direct energy weapons. So if anybody seriously thinks that just these fires just kind of started out of nowhere, it's I mean, I have seen video what looks like the actual DEWs hitting their targets, whether or not they're real or not. It is, I mean, the fact that it can melt metal and it can destroy everything within a small, the
They're
pinpoint,
precise.
very
Yeah,
precise.
yeah,
Absolutely. You know what I mean? There's just no doubt about it. Yep.
totally agree. So I'm going to go with deep state,
Nice.
simply because it sounds like something out of the 70s, It's something undercover. But honestly, I don't know who came up with that term. It just sounds so movie-esque that I think it's developed its own kind of genre.
Hmm.
They're part of the deep state. Well, I don't care what you call it. I just want it gone.
Right.
The deep state should be deeply buried. Those chemtrails, we've got the thing. Let's put the deep state under the ground too.
Yep.
Yeah,
Very
Yeah,
good.
absolutely. And mine is Dog Man.
Oh.
One of the cryptids here, the Dog Man, half part dog, part man, walks like a man, but I think he has a face like a dog and claws maybe like a dog. I don't know. I haven't seen one personally, but I have an open mind, and I'm sure there's probably some out there.
Well, that would go back to what they're doing as far as
Mm,
mutilate or mutating
yeah.
human and animal together.
Jekyll Island.
I've seen all kinds of things with that. Yeah.
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 Good one. See, you got some really unique ones. That's
I'm
awesome.
surprised we haven't gotten any the same yet.
Not yet.
Well, the chemtrail one, that was mine that Tammy spoke up, so I went with it anyway since
No,
she
that's okay. Sorry. I cheated there. I definitely
That's
cheated.
right. That's cool.
So
Hey,
the E.
there's a D in the comments.
Oh, good.
Davos.
Davos. Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, let's bring it
That's
up
a good one.
here.
So Davos is where all these globalists go and have their conferences to figure out how they're going to rule the world. Well, hopefully, maybe they can be chemtrailed to be part of that deep state underground thing, because they literally cannot control people who refuse to abide by their rules. And that's exactly what I think we're trying to say by being sovereign. Stand up for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Tell those at Davos to go away. We're going to live our lives our way.
Yeah, we could use those direct energy weapons on him too. Get the Dog Man after him.
That's right. All right, we're on to E. Now, this is a fairly new one. This one just sort of popped up here recently over the last several months, is Elohim.
Oh, yeah.
Ah,
Have you heard that one? So I'm still trying to get a handle on what they are considering an Elohim, because some say that it is God. Others say that they're fallen angels. But either way, it does not sound like they portray Elohim as a good thing. I think it is actually probably not. That's my gut from what I've seen a little bit about it, is that it is part of uh, the nefarious higher beings, even higher than the deep state. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
So
think
yep.
they're fallen angels, is from my understanding, that
Hmm.
have came to Earth to breed with woman, with human
yeah,
women.
that's kind of
Mm,
what I thought they were.
yep. Yep. All right, what do you got, Angela?
Well, kind of on the same line, I was thinking about extraterrestrials.
Hmm.
And I think we need to think of them in different terms because terrestrial being Earth and extra being outside. Well, what about inside? What about terrestrials inside the Earth, underneath? Because I'm hearing more and more about these underground tunnels,
Hmm.
about creatures living in there. Maybe they're terrestrials that are of a different life form, and I don't know if they're good or bad. Without seeing them, without getting confirmation that these things are what they are being said to be. Some
Hmm.
say that they're huge giants and they can, with one swat, kill a man or something. I don't have the facts, but all I know is that I think it's worth examining that there are other terrestrials than just humans in this world.
Right. I agree. We all think extraterrestrial is being something up in the sky or outside of our little universe, And I'm hearing and starting to believe more and more that these are all beings that are right here with us, and they have been all of this time. A
Yeah.
lot of them are hidden, but
Or maybe not in our visibility spectrum, that
correct.
we can only see within certain spectrums, that maybe they're here and we just can't see them.
Right, and I think that has a lot to do with our spirituality, maybe not spirituality, or ascension, opening our mind. Let's say it that way. Having
Raising
an
our
open,
consciousness.
yes, raising our
Yeah,
consciousness, having an open mind.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
everything's frequency. So if we
Yep.
adjust, we're tuning to a different channel on the radio,
Yep.
you can see things coming clearer when you do
Yep.
that.
Yep. Absolutely.
Mine is earth mounds.
Ah.
So there's a lot of mounds, especially in Ohio area, that they claim that the Native Americans used as burial mounds,
Mm.
and they won't let anybody touch them to excavate them. But ones that have been excavated all over Pennsylvania and Ohio in the past, which is going to give away my G, but giants were found
Hmm.
underneath there. Giant skeletons of all sizes, not just like a 6 foot tall guy, a 7 foot tall guy, huge. I mean, I think some were, I don't know, 12 feet tall. Some are
mm,
bigger than that, you know?
wow. We do
That's
have an E from the audience. Elementals.
elementals. There you go. Yeah,
Good
that's a
job.
good
Good
one too.
job.
Yeah. Awesome.
Anybody have any comments on that one?
Elementals.
Yeah.
Elementals are like the fairies of nature, the
Yep.
water elemental, the fire, earth, air. So, yeah,
And
that's a
I've
good one.
always heard, don't piss off the fairies.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Exactly.
F. We got F. I had the firmament.
Oh, that's a good one.
Nice.
All right. So for those that we've been called conspiracy theorists. The firmament is the dome that is supposedly around us or above us, holding us in, keeping us contained. So I always look at the Hunger Games where she's shooting her arrow and she breaks through the firmament.
Yep.
You know.
I
I
saw
like to think of it as God's terrarium. That's just the way I think of it.
that's a good one. I saw something the other day that said if these elites are all building bunkers, then obviously they can't leave the planet.
Right.
Oh, that made sense.
Yes, and actually, I've heard that that's one of the reasons why we have the firmament is to keep them in where
Yeah,
they
that we're
can't.
a very destructive species that pretty much kills ourself every time we get, you know. So they kind of put us in seclusion in a little area out in the universe
Mhm.
or wherever we are. Who knows?
Yeah, we are rebels.
Hmm.
I'm going to let you go next, Lisa, because I
Oh,
have
I'm sorry.
two, and I don't want to step on if you've got one of them.
What are we on?
F.
F.
Oh, we probably have the same one. Go ahead.
Well, which do you only have one?
I have one.
Why don't you go?
Flat Earth.
Okay,
Yep.
Was that the one that you had,
yeah,
Angela?
that was something else. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, flat Earth. So there's a lot of people that think the Earth was flat, and even they taught this a long time ago. You know, it was common knowledge that the Earth was flat, and it's not flat as a lot of people think, where there's an edge and you're going to fall off the edge. You know, it's goes along with the firmament. Firmament. It's
Mhm.
like Angela said, the God's terrarium. You know, it's an enclosed system with a huge ice wall around the perimeter of it, and we're all enclosed in that. The firmament, the ice wall, and then whatever's
Water
underneath us.
above, water below. I mean, it just
Yep.
makes it doesn't it sound like a terrarium because if the water condenses, I just love that kind of vision that I'm little God's plant in this.
Yeah.
So my two were either the fake moon landing or fluoridation. I don't know which one you guys want to talk
Oh,
about more.
oh,
Nice.
yes,
Those
that's a
are
good
good.
one. Yeah.
Fluoridation kind of goes
Yes.
along with my thing, partly because I'm in the health industry. You know,
Hmm.
as a health coach, I'm always looking at helping people feel better. So fluoridation kind of came to me, but the fake moon landing kind of fits the conspiracy theory much more clearly
Hmm.
because I remember it. I was like, I don't know, 9 or something at the time, and it was like, wow, look at that. But then as I got older, I was like, what? And it like didn't jive with me. I just get this little tickling in the back of my head going, what? That doesn't make sense. And then when I got older, because life gets in the middle of things and you forget about it. And then you hear, when we no longer have the technology to go to the moon, you go, oh, this is a bunch of BS.
Right.
This
Yeah.
whole thing. And it just fell completely apart for
Hmm.
me. And I'm like, how can we do that? What is it that to me, again, it's money laundering first and foremost. And secondly, it's to keep us in a state of just complete disbelief about we just don't know anything. And I really don't like that because for me, the truth is paramount. So I'd rather not, believe in anything that comes from NASA. And this is the big one for me. You blew it on that one, so you're never getting my trust again.
Right.
Yep. Well, look, why haven't we been back multiple times? You know, oh, we've already been there once. That's all we have to do. You know.
They say they lost the technology. I mean,
Yeah.
how do you use the technology when a rotary phone can dial the moon? I mean,
Yeah.
I
More clear than our cell phones do from me to you today. Let's grab our mylar blankets and create a spaceship, and the three of us can go.
There you go. There you go.
I got some cardboard boxes we can couple.
So fluoridation, I want to touch on that real
Hmm.
quick
Yeah.
because
Okay.
that's what I determine if people are gonna, if it's worth talking to people or not. Really, if I go in their bathroom and they have fluoride toothpaste, then I really just, it's just pointless.
Right.
I
Right.
mean, if people don't understand that fluoride is a neurotoxin and you're ingesting it every day in your tap water, I'm
Hmm.
sorry, I can't help you. I literally have to tell clients, stop drinking tap water. I mean, to have to tell, and they don't understand. I'm thinking, every time you're drinking that, and I give them the site to go see what the percentage of chemicals that are in their water. And when they do, they go like, well, I had no idea. I'm thinking, where are people? Why aren't they investigating? Why aren't you asking questions? So
Hmm.
question everything and start with your tap water.
Yeah. Well, Harvard actually came out with a study that determined that it was a neurotoxin years ago. I remember seeing that. And
And
then
it calcifies the pineal gland too.
Hmm.
yeah. Yeah. And then skin being the biggest organ in your body, it's porous. You're absorbing all that water. You think it's washing the dirt off and going down the drain. It's not. You're absorbing all those chemicals in every
Mhm.
pore of your body. So,
Filter every water.
yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. 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 Well, we're on G already. I had multiple ones for G as well, but you already mentioned this one, giants.
Yep. I have a couple
Okay.
of them, so I'll change
Yeah.
mine.
Giants. To think again. Well, okay. So I look back on Devil's Tower. That they actually say that these were trees.
Yep.
Mhm.
You know, and that this was during the time of the giants. And I think that there are still giants in other areas still around.
Yeah.
We just don't see them.
I
Yep.
mean, what's Bigfoot?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a
Well,
classic
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
I think
You,
Bigfoot's different than a giant, though. I think Bigfoot is more of an interdimensional being that's here to help us raise our consciousness and bring awareness to us and to protect us. I think, a lot of people like us who are speaking out, we obviously have divine protection in many
Hmm.
ways down here,
Right.
But from what I gather with giants, they were kind of used as slaves. If they were captured by
Mm.
humans, they were used as a slave. They could haul, Bigfoot was as well, though. They would I remember reading a story about they'd capture a Bigfoot, they'd throw it in a pit that it couldn't get out of, and they
Mhm.
would just, till they broke its spirit. And then
oh,
they would use it for all kinds of things around the village, even the men with their perversions.
Right.
So, yeah, it's crazy.
we need to be a much kinder species. I don't
Hmm.
like the fact that humans themselves are considered kind of in it for themselves, everything about them. It's all very egocentric. That's
Hmm.
very troubling to me.
Yes.
Somebody just came in with an A from way back when we were talking, and they just showed up and they said, Area 51.
Yep.
Anybody want to comment on that?
Oh, yeah. I wanted to join that crew that was gonna break into Area 51 last year, wasn't it? I was like, "Let's do it!" Didn't have the ability to go there, but I would love to. What is it supposed to be? At least 7 floors, all under the ground,
Right.
aliens working with humans,
Yep.
reproducing the alien technology, this and that. Yeah,
Yep.
doing experiments on them.
We actually went to the area that is supposed to be Area 51. Got to see the actual black mailbox at the end of the lane, and I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's go down the road. We were in a rental car too, so it didn't really matter. So, and I really wanted to go down the lane and see what we could find, but then I just kind of chickened out, so I didn't.
Well, if
I didn't.
anything, it would be a direct energy weapon they pick you off with, so it wouldn't have hurt it
That
wouldn't have
is
hurt for
true.
very long.
We would have been dust in a second.
Yeah, well, maybe
That's
not so
awesome.
much.
That's
We
awesome.
we have a G
Uh,
now too, guys.
G.
The Geo.
Who's doing the geocentric model of the universe?
Yep.
Yep. Who's next? Who's doing G?
I'll do mine.
Go for it.
I did GMOs, genetically modified
Yep.
organisms. Mine
Oh,
kind of fall into theme because that's my field of food
Yep.
nutrition.
That's all right.
But if people would realize that the things they're eating are not really food, they're food like substances.
Mhm.
And anything that says bioengineered food, GMO, something that doesn't say organic something or chemical free something, they're not eating real food. So it doesn't matter where you got it from. I love when, and I won't use anybody's name, but as a family member, who says, "Oh, we just had the best corn ever. We got it from this farmer's market." And of course, we ask, "Oh, was it organic?" Crestfallen face, no
Right.
longer talking to us, conversation over. Because you're challenging them. But if they don't know what real food is, we're just trying to educate. And
yeah,
so if it says GMO or bioengineered food, put it back. It's just a food like substance.
yeah. And the sad thing is with GMO corn, the GMO corn tastes better than the organic corn. And it's
Because it's
because they
sweeter.
Right.
they genetically engineer it like that. Just like what is that white stuff they used to sprinkle on the food to get you addicted to it?
MSG.
Yes, just like MSG. It's an addictive substance they put in there to,
Anytime they make food sweeter, it becomes more addictive. That's why all the fat-free food became addictive, because they had to substitute something for flavor. And then when they take out fat, which it really is
Hmm.
flavorful, they had to add some sort of chemicalized sweetener. And that's how aspartame and all the other things came about. And it's just not good for you. And it's no longer real food.
yeah. And
Right.
all the GMOs they tested, they stopped after the 6-month period and claimed,
Of
oh,
course.
nothing harmful happened. But when an outside person tested it and let it go past 6 months, huge tumors were growing all over the rats. Huge,
Hmm.
Well,
so
everything like that is cumulative. And that's why people don't realize this type of food is killing you. Because when you eat it and you don't drop over dead, or somebody else doesn't drop over dead, you don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Right.
But you don't realize over the course of years, that's why you're getting sick. That's
Yep.
why you're getting cancers. That's
Yep.
why you're getting something else. Because your body can only tolerate so much. It's a miracle of God that your body can tolerate as much as it does.
Right.
But when you exceed its limit, it comes back at you full force.
yeah, and that's why
Absolutely.
people jump on the big pharma bandwagon because they want something fast. And even though they might see results in pain relief by taking a pill, you're not fixing the underlying cause
Right.
that it took you years to develop with the years of poison you ingested. So it will take quite a while for your body to detox from that,
Yeah.
you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the animal world, we always tell everybody if their dog has been on drugs like Apoquil and things like that for say 3 years, it's going to take a year and a half for that dog to completely heal. Half that
Well,
time. Yep.
even with humans, when they take your average normal type drug like an antibiotic, it destroys your gut lining.
Hmm.
I mean, just a 5-day course will take 6 months or more for your gut
Right.
to heal itself, and that's where your whole microbiome that really helps you survive, it lives. So you just destroyed your whole inner being. It's just, you really need to take care and eat well and just avoid GMOs entirely.
You
Absolutely.
can tell we're always on the health thing because that's what we always go back to.
Can't help it. I live it every day.
That's all right. Lisa, are we still on G for you?
Yes. So I had Giants was
Hmm.
my first pick, but I also had the Gates Foundation.
Ah,
Yes, yes,
Billy
yes.
Gates. Billy Gates and his Human Trafficking Foundation.
Yes, yes.
So,
Very good. That's a good one. Yep.
yeah. If there is a picture of an evil scientist, it would be Gates's face, but his medical degree, that's non-existent, is just about as valuable as every other doctor who's pushing all the crap on
Right.
you.
Right,
So
right.
it doesn't matter who it comes from. If it's not worthwhile, don't do it.
yep.
And
That's right.
believe me, if it's funded by the Gates Foundation, run away.
That's right. That's right. And there's always so many. Like when you bring up other things, it brings up like Black Rock. We could have used Black Rock. There's so many different other words. There's so many conspiracy theories.
Yep.
And we
Oh my!
can't expose all of them in one
I
hour.
know. I know. I know. H. I put harp.
I was going to
Did I
put
take
that one.
yours? The High
We all have
Frequency
that.
Active Auroral Research Program, otherwise known as weather modification, manipulation.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes,
Yep.
ma'am. Well, I think it was Wilhelm Reich when he was the one that created weather modification, and he would go around um, to these different farms out west during the drought season, and he would point his mainly it was orgone towers up at the sky, and they would draw the condensation out of the clouds, and it would start raining. So then, of course, big government started following him around and confiscated his equipment. So Might be something that they're using now, but I think it's way more advanced at this point. But yeah, now they've even come out and talked about how they're doing it, and people still don't believe that they're doing it.
Right. Well, HARP is what they were using to actually do the clouds too, right? The
Yep.
machine that actually produces the clouds,
Yep.
you know.
And the fog
Yeah,
and
and the
yep,
fog
all of
and
that.
yeah, yeah.
And they can stir up, typhoons and tsunamis and all
Yep.
that. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. All right. Who's next? H.
I'm thinking of one. I had harp, so I'm trying to think of another one.
Oh,
It's
well,
hard to think of
we
them
have
really
Hollow
fast.
Earth. We have Hollow Earth in the
Okay.
chat. Hollow Earth. That's a good one too.
Good job. I like that one.
What do you have, Lisa?
You want me to go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
While you think more, I have Hollywood.
Good
Oh my
one.
God, that's the
Good
best one.
Hollywood. Yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't it
that one
crazy all the
deserves some
shit that's
points.
coming out about Hollywood now?
Yeah.
There was just we had breaking news today before SBG News came on, and it was Puff Daddy or P Diddy getting arrested for trafficking, human trafficking. His sons were being arrested as well. So, and just it's crazy, and it goes back to the clones you were talking about earlier. You see all these movie stars
Mhm.
disappearing, or like the crazy Britney Spears that's on TikTok. That is not Britney Spears. Have you seen Madonna, the new Madonna, like over the past couple years? She is
Weird. I mean, that's
not
a
even
weird looking person.
it's not even Madonna. Like, how do people believe, oh, it's just plastic surgery?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Wish she should get her
They
money
get their
back.
earlobe detached or attached. Was that part of the surgery? Just crazy things that they think.
Well, it'd be interesting to find out, like, how do you know if it's a clone versus a mask or versus an actor wearing the mask? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I think we need
I
to
don't
know
know
a little.
how you know until you either are physically there
Correct.
or someone actually reveals, takes the mask off. There's
Right.
really no way. You have to take a lot of it on faith when somebody says, "Oh, this is a whatever, a clone, a mask, a double, whatever."
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a hard one.
Yeah.
From what I'm gathering, or from what I've read, clones only live a short amount of time. So they start malfunctioning and
Yeah.
things like that after a while.
Yes.
And you can't get them to look exactly like the real person.
Right. What was that? Mitchell? Was it Mitch McConnell? When he was doing his thing and he sort of started malfunctioning. He's in the middle of his in his speech, and then all of a sudden he just stops and they can't. Okay, so that to me would be more of a clone or MK Ultra.
I was
Yeah.
just going to say that.
Yeah, it could be
Well,
more of an MK Ultra move.
Well, along that lines, the Katy Perry one, where her eye keeps flickering, just the one eye keeps flickering. I think that looks like a clone on the downside. Like they've run its course.
Yeah.
And sure, can you manipulate that with CGI? Absolutely. I mean,
Right.
who knows why they do what they do? But if you're guessing, I would say possibly a clone.
I'm a little concerned because my left eye, my right eye keeps twitching a lot lately.
I don't think you're a clone, but
I don't think so either, but
You never know. We all could be clones. We never know.
we could be holograms. Who knows?
Yep.
Yeah.
Who knows?
There's my H hologram.
Hologram. Yes.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at it, it seems kind of ethereal when you see it like on a video or something, but they make them very realistic. I mean, nowadays you can't really tell that it's not real because the technology has improved so much that the visual of it is just kind of overwhelming. I think the only way to kind of decipher it is that it's too good. It's like it's too realistic because everything has flaws in it. Not everything is symmetrical, not everything is perfectly shaped. And so sometimes you really have to be carefully discerning, is that real or not? But take it for what it will. Holograms are used all the time.
Well, that's Project Bluebeam.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, and that they kept talking
I'll take
about
that
how
off my P.
That yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm kind of cheating here a little bit.
That's all
Um,
right.
uh, yeah, I mean, they talked about originally they were talking about this big event. It may be a Project Bluebeam event, with all these scary things coming at us. And um, I remember years ago I saw a project. It was a Project Bluebeam where these kids are sitting in this high school auditorium, and this whale comes up out of the water and splash. Have you seen that one? Splashes
Yeah.
down. I mean, it freaking looks amazing. you know, so Project Bluebeam could be used for the good, instead of used for the negative, if they really want to, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
Well,
going to
so
mention
many of
that.
these technologies that they use for
Hmm.
not for good can be used for good. I think we just need to get to that point where the nefarious stuff goes away and we
Right.
start using all these technologies for the betterment of humanity.
Right. Well, so you could use advanced technology for the A too.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
um did we all did H, right?
Yep.
I, what do you got for I?
I got Illuminati.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, good one.
So way back, long time ago, I used to read all those books about, like Da Vinci Code type stuff. It was like really interesting, but I read it for the detective portion of it. Like, can I figure this mystery out? And then the more I read, the more I thought, this stuff doesn't seem to be just somebody's imagination. And then going down rabbit holes, and as time progressed, and here we are now, we know it's real. We know that there's a society, and they've been around forever, and they are running the world
Mhm.
basically, and they've got all these globalists. I will not call them elites because that gives them too much credit.
Right, you're right.
They're really parasites. But yeah, the Illuminati is an actual real thing, and unfortunately, yeah, we've got to get rid of all of them. They're not here for good at all.
Right. Right. What do you have for I, Lisa?
I have Inner Earth.
Inner Earth. Yes, fantastic.
Yeah, so like I know the Hopi used to talk about, before the Great Flood, the ant people from Inner Earth came and rescued them and had them go in the tunnels. And then what is it, Admiral Byrd, who flew over Antarctica and saw the opening that went into Inner Earth, So same as kind of like the Hollow Earth that we were talking
Yep.
about earlier, but
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, could possibly.
Yeah.
That's what if I had a backhoe, like an excavator, I'd be digging holes. I have my own tunnels down to find if there is an inner earth.
Well, you remember the old saying, like when the dogs are digging, "Are you digging to China?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Like, if you dig deep enough, you're going to find a tunnel somewhere, probably. Now,
yeah,
it would be very interesting. I would love to be able to see the actual cities and
Yeah.
the good stuff that's inside the earth. You know what I mean? Or
yeah.
inside, whatever we are on.
And that goes back to the holograms too, because a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
people say that a lot of these openings are just covered up with a hologram. So it looks just like, the mountainside or wherever it is. And sometimes
Yeah.
people accidentally just fall into those and disappear and nobody knows what happens to them, you know?
Huh.
The Bermuda Triangle of holograms.
Yeah. How about it?
Yeah.
Well, my eye kind of fits in here because I chose ice walls, the ice wall.
Ah,
All right, because
Nice.
nobody can go beyond the ice wall, nobody can see the ice wall. It's all hidden from us.
Yeah.
Why is that? Why can't we go to the ice wall?
Yeah.
And
Why can't
again,
we melt the ice wall with a flamethrower or the
yeah,
direct energy weapons?
yeah, exactly, exactly. But again, you look back at the movies, Game of Thrones. What was in Game of Thrones? The ice
nice
wall.
one.
Okay,
Yep.
so again, they're telling us these things. They've been telling us these things for a long time, and nobody really pays attention. They're like, "Oh, that's really cool. That's you look at Star Trek. You look at all these different things that have been telling us these things for a long time."
We have an eye from the comments. Indigo children.
Indigo children.
Yeah, so I always get the different children mixed up. There's the crystal children and the indigo children, and mainly it's just it was funny, right when I was talking about that, the timer said 4444. But yeah, they're supposed to be the new generation of people that are what is the word?
Star seeds.
Coming back,
Yeah.
To
starseeds too,
save the
coming back
world.
to the planet, yeah, to
Mhm.
save the world.
Yep.
So they're going to have be born with the different abilities that we're still trying to learn how, like psychic abilities and
Bring
mediumship
it.
and
I mean,
things. Yeah.
seriously, looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, there's
Yep.
this book called China's Super Psychics. Have you guys ever heard of that?
Mm-mm.
So, over in China, they've had this group of children that they've been working with. Um, crazy things that these kids can do. They've just been gathering them around China, finding that they can do these amazing things. Like this one kid can put a book underneath his arm and he reads everything instantly when he does that. The other girl, they had her up on stage and gave everybody in the audience a rose that was closed, and she just waved her hand and every one of them opened and
Hmm.
bloomed.
Wow.
People they're walking through walls, just doing all kinds of things.
Right. That's amazing.
Interesting.
Well, we have a little bit less than 15 minutes here. So, and I figured we weren't going to get through all of this through the whole alphabet tonight anyway. So,
Let's
if,
try to just go midway.
what's that? Yeah, go
Let's try to go
midway.
midway.
That's what I figured we would do. And if people really want to continue on with this, we're, and continue giving us some other conspiracy words, we can do this in another podcast as well.
Yeah, this
Absolutely.
is fun. I like it.
Jay, we're on Jay. What do y'all got for Jay?
JFK.
Yep.
That to me is like the original conspiracy theory
Mm-hmm.
about
Yeah.
the grassy knoll and the single shooter and the miracle bullet that turned the corner and all that. I know I was young, but it didn't. I mean, it was devastating. My parents were crying. I remember all of that. The emotional turmoil that this caused left a really deep impression upon me. But as I got older, and again, I love going down the rabbit holes and reading on things. Just none of it seemed right. And today, even Bobby Kennedy Jr. comes out and says, the CIA killed his uncle.
Mm-hmm.
And what does the American public do? Total silence.
Right.
Why aren't people up in arms and
Right.
raging and asking, the CIA be held accountable for this?
Yes.
It's bizarre to me.
Yeah. All of them. We all should be holding them all accountable,
Yeah,
and we got to stop complying.
exactly.
Yeah.
What do you have, Lisa, for Jay?
I have jet fuel.
Oh.
So there's two parts of it. For 9/11, they claimed that the jet fuel was melting the steel beams, and that's what caused the collapse when jet fuel on fire does not get hot enough to melt steel beams. And then the plane wings, did you ever see that in the jets?
Mm-hmm.
They claim that's where they hold all the jet fuel is in the wings of the plane. And you would need, they calculated how many semi truckloads of jet fuel you would need to operate that plane if what they were saying is the truth. And I can't remember how many it was, but it did not. Uh, it did not even fit. That many wouldn't even fit in the wings. I mean,
Right.
it was way beyond, what would fit in the wings is what was needed. So just, yeah, crazy things.
Nice.
Just another way to lie to us. That's all
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Just keep lying to us.
Yeah, and a
Yeah.
lot of people say they're using, different technologies for their benefit, just not coming out with them for ours,
Right.
with the flying and this and that, so which makes sense.
Well, and I'm hearing Project Bluebeam for that one too. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Jay. Well, I had JFK originally as well. I'm going to go with Jeffrey Epstein.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So, uh, and I guess the conspiracy is he really dead? Did he really commit suicide in prison? Um, my thing with that is, doesn't matter who he is. These pedophiles, these people who are human trafficking, they need to be stopped regardless. I don't care what the name of the person is. You know what I mean? We have got to protect our kids. We've got to stop this nonsense of of trafficking. It's really bad.
I've never been a proponent of capital punishment until I heard about the level of pedophilia, and now I'm like, they need to meet their maker. They
Yep,
really do. There's
absolutely.
there's no justification for harming an innocent child.
Right.
None.
Or an
And
animal.
or
I'm the same way
animal.
with animals too.
Yeah,
Yep.
but in this particular case, especially when you harm some innocent for whatever it is, for whatever benefit that person is seeking, you deserve to meet your maker,
Right. I
and
agree.
then you find he will deal justice with you.
Yep.
Oh, we'll send them to Russia and they can torture them first.
There you go.
What was your J, Angela?
JFK.
Oh, you had JFK. No, wait. Did you do yours,
Yeah.
Lisa?
I
Yeah.
did.
See
You
how
did. Your jet
easily?
fuel. Oh,
It's the
see, I'm like
chemtrails, I'm
falling
telling
behind
you.
here. That's right. That's right. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
See how
All
easily
right.
confused we are?
We're just having too much fun with all these other things. K. What'd you come up with K?
King
For me,
Charles.
Ah, good one.
oh, that's a good one.
The fact that he actually became king in his 70s, first off, is just amazing to me. I thought they'd never kill off Elizabeth. I mean, was she going to just live for? They were going to stuff her and sit her in a chair and let her be queen. But the fact that he's king and now that he's got cancer, I think all this is to give, and I hate using the word normies, what they want. The monarchy has been such an institution in the UK that I don't think they could have just dismantled it right away. So it's a slow roll. But I think the whole idea of him having cancer, then, Kate having cancer, it's to normalize it for us. And I
Right.
think we need to stop that. And we
Mm-hmm.
need to stop. I'm not saying people with cancer don't deserve our sympathy and our prayers. I'm saying stop believing the news that
Right.
these creatures have
Mm-hmm.
something for you to be sympathetic about.
Yeah.
They are not in it for us. They're in it for themselves. And this may be, if it's real, this may be their payback for living such a terrible life. So, I'll be glad when he's gone and the rest of the monarchy with him.
Well, I think he's been gone for a number of years,
Yeah.
along
But
with
I
a lot
mean,
of other ones.
visibly for
But
the,
right,
yeah,
for the people to see,
right.
and that's we talk about this quite a bit. Like, just rip the Band-Aid off for God's sake. You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
like the slow roll. Me neither.
Why are we just dragging this out, and
Yeah.
again, I tell everybody, keep an open mind. Some of these things sound really bizarre. Some of these things you may have never heard of before, but that's okay. Keep an open mind. Don't just automatically poo-poo it and say that, well, you're just crazy. You're crazy for talking this talk. um Keep an open mind about it, because there's so many things. uh Lisa, did you do K?
Yes, K was hard. First, I had the Kennedy assassination, but we
Yes.
just talked about that. So I switched it to the Ku Klux Klan.
Oh, fantastic. Yes.
Yeah, so they
Actually,
were.
KKK, so you would actually get 3 points for that.
Oh, woohoo!
Yes,
But
you
they were,
do.
they fueled the separation in our society. One
Mhm.
of the initial things that did that, the racism.
Yeah.
So,
That's a fantastic one. I never thought about that one. I was doing the typical Khazarian mafia, because that word's been just used and used and used. It's kind of another one that's been beaten to death here of late. Um,
yeah.
and really, the only thing I could really haven't done a whole lot of research, other than it just sounds like it still is tied into the Rothschild dynasty. Um, it's deep and dark, and it's part of what has been controlling us forever.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. So
The
we got what,
Khazarian
five
mafia.
minutes. We also have Knights Templar that came up in chat as well.
Yep. That goes back to all that reading I was doing, with the, like Da Vinci Code on Knights Templar were a big player in
Mhm.
those kind of Illuminati based, and Middle Ages also. All those
Mhm.
kinds of books have lots of themes with Knights Templar in them.
Yep.
Well, why don't we finish with one more? We'll
All
finish
right.
with L.
We'll do L. Go ahead, Lisa.
So I have lifting the veil.
Nice.
Yeah. So, mainly saying that we're in a simulation, we're just kind of blinded by what reality really is. And, the veil is thinning, or lifting, so we'll be able to see what reality really is. So, that could be not only just the world around us, but it could be people. They say a lot of people that are walking around are actually aliens, like you had mentioned earlier,
Mhm.
or interdimensional beings or whatnot. There could be empty bodies that are like kind of like clones, like an empty vessel where they can just pop in. I've heard that before. Interdimensional beings can just choose to pop into these empty vessels whenever they want to and take control of them. So it's kind of like a vacation, I guess, for them. I don't know.
No, that's good. Removing that hologram.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
when you said that, you just made me think of something for N.
I know
Something
that's what
different
I
from what I
keep
had.
doing too. I
See,
keep
that's what's fun about it, because you
Yeah.
realize you go through all of this, and then you look at like, oh man, I could have used this for that letter, or this for that, and it makes you really think about all these other things. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of them. There's a lot
Yeah.
that we could do. All right, what do you have for L,
I was
Angela?
thinking light beings or light workers.
Nice.
Yeah. And I think that goes along with our earlier thing with like indigo children and all that there are people here meant to help and heal the earth and bring humanity forward. And it's not my field of expertise, but I've heard enough about it to think if those beings exist, I truly welcome them.
I
Hmm.
think we're all light beings. We're all
Hmm.
light
No,
workers.
no,
We just haven't been taught that intentionally,
right.
you
We're
know?
not dimensionally there yet.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Well, I was my L. I don't know why I was having such a problem with L, but I came up with Lemuria,
Oh,
That's
only
a good
because
one.
it is ancient. Supposedly, there's a lot of mystery behind it. I'd love to be able to see Lemuria and Atlantis again. There's so much talk about that going on. So yeah, Lemuria.
Very good. Very good.
All right.
Well, this was fun.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I think we need to do a second podcast, and we're going to continue on with M, starting with the letter M, and we definitely want to get the audience to give us some of the things that they're thinking of as well, because
Yeah.
it's a lot of
Yeah,
fun. It gets you
absolutely.
talking. It's an icebreaker. It gets you talking about whatever. You
Yeah.
know,
So do we want to do this next week and then give people a chance to work up their M through Z's?
we can
All right.
absolutely. Yeah, we could definitely do that. We'll do part two.
Awesome.
Awesome
Very
sauce.
good.
Well, see
So,
everybody next week then.
All
And
right. Well, thank you so much, ladies. That was fun.
and thank you everybody for coming also, and hope you'll join us again next week here, Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Join us live on Rumble and YouTube, and then the recordings are in various places, Rumble, YouTube, Brighteon, BitChute. Please like, subscribe, and follow us so we can keep the word out. We're here to spread the truth and hope everybody joins Sovereign Sisters and you be sovereign too.
yep,
Awesome.
we're disrupting the norm.
Yes.